All right, to this now, Tumelo Machogo is meanwhile in Bombela in Mpumalanga. He joins us now to tell us what is currently happening where he is. Tumelo, a lot is happening this side, 0.21% completed in some of those, of course, voting districts. What is happening on your side?
Well, indeed, Alicia, the votes are starting to trickle in here, especially here in Mpumalanga, where the numbers of votes have already started actually being counted. About 1% have already been counted so far in the province. We understand that about 14 stations, district out of 1,811 has already been completed so far, and also the numbers are starting to trickle in. We've seen that the ANC so far is leading with about 40% of those numbers that are actually coming in. You would see that about 1.1% so far now have already been completed in the province. Those are areas where they have seen a number of people actually going there out and voting this morning. The ANC is leading there with about 777 votes so far, and followed closely by the DA with 415, and the EFF is behind with 145. So these are the votes that are starting to come in. We understand that only about I'm gonna have to go back to my phone and check those numbers again, Alicia, about the spoiled votes that have about 1% have already been spoiled there in those voting stations that have already been counted. 14 stations have already been completed out of 1,811. Let's speak to the provincial electoral commissioner in the electoral officer in the province, Mpumalanga. May just talk to us about since this morning we understand that there've been quite a few incidents in the province. Just talk to us about those incidents, and also did you guys manage to open in time in all of the voting stations this morning?
Thank you very much. As Mpumalanga province, in the morning we managed to open on time. Just one station that did not open on time, the reason being one of our presiding officer got involved in a car accident, but eventually we didn't go beyond 9:30 in that station. So everything went well in the station except the long queues that we managed to manage through adding more devices in the station, and also using the manual voters roll so that we can proceed and not stall the queues. So far we did quite very well. We had a few incidents which were not major. One of those was just an issue of the people not being on the VMD or on the voters roll, but they had proof that they have registered, and those people were allowed to vote, but the incident were recorded in the diary. The other issue that was of a serious nature is when one of the voters took a picture of the ballot papers and circulated that picture. A case has since been open for that particular voter. But everything went well. We had the support of SABC in all our stations, which were trying to manage the situation where there were cases of conflict.
We understand in Elekwatini, one person was also arrested by the police there. Apparently, he was also showed up at the voting station intoxicated, and also eventually he was arrested. And also, just talk to us about that, and also those hotspots. Did you guys manage to ensure that there was no problems in those hotspots?
The issue of Elekwatini was reported. That matter was not necessarily related. The arrest was not related to IEC. Indeed, the person showed up at the station intoxicated. But when the SAPS members addressed the member, he even went out, then damaged the car of the members. That's why he was of the SAPS. That's why he was arrested. On our hotspots, yes, we do have, but there was nothing serious happening there. We had the area safely and very strongly guarded by members of our SAPS. So in our areas that are very common with unrest, there were no serious issues that were reported.
And also it's going to be a long night for you guys. Are the voting going very well? And also the people that are counting the votes have like a lot of energy drinks so that they can drink tonight, so they can start counting the votes as quick as possible, because the political party, I can see them, they are watching the screen they're really watching the screen to ensure that they see their parties starting to actually win the elections.
We all got prepared. We knew that we're not going to sleep. So every employee of the commission is all hands on the deck. So there's no one that is sleeping. We're making sure. The good part is when we capture the results, there are also auditors on the capturing sites that are auditing the results and make sure that everything is captured quite very correctly. So I hope we will be finishing as soon as possible. But really, it is really tiresome. We had a very long day, but we are getting there.
And also talk to me about that. How did the vote go? So do they go? After now the vote are being counted. Where do they go? The parties that the IEC officials start counting the votes, then they get captured, and what went through, and then how do we then see the numbers that are coming into our screens?
We have capturing sites in the province. As a province, we have 18. All the offices have capturing sites, with some having 2 or 3. In the likes of Bushbuck Ridge, city of Mbombela, because they have satellite office. So when they finish counting, all the result slips are going to the capturing sites. Members of the local political parties are allowed to access the capturing sites so that they can observe all the proceedings that are happening there. From there, the results are captured on the system, the result slips are scanned, and thereafter are audited by the auditors, and then they go to the official system so that they can reflect on the screens.
Thank you so much for speaking to us. That was the Gugu Langa speaking for the IEC here in the province. So far, the votes that have been counted, it's about 1,801 votes have been counted in those 14 stations. Out of the 1,811, you would understand that Mpumalanga has about over 2 million people that registered to vote in this election. So you can imagine a lot of votes still need to be counted, but also political parties, they're keeping their eye on that screen. Alicia?
All right, that is SABC News reporter Tumelo Machogo in Mpumalanga for us at The Rock.